In this video, I want to teach you how to ride a dirt bike faster. What's up, Rad family? I'm Dakota Freeman, and welcome to the Rad Adventure Dude channel. It's going to be so important that when we want to learn how to ride a dirt bike faster, we learn the right body positioning. In this video, I want to cover a couple of techniques on cornering, a couple techniques on standing properly, and how we can go through our gears in the proper way to actually get faster on our dirt bikes. The first thing that we need to learn when we want to learn how to ride a dirt bike faster is the proper body positioning. Body positioning is going to be the most important part of learning how to ride a dirt bike faster, and it really isn't about just turning the throttle on. If you ride with the correct riding position, everything else in our dirt bike riding will become easier, more comfortable, and we're going to have a lot more confidence when doing it. So let's go ahead and cover how we need to have our body positioning when we're riding a dirt bike. Our body positioning is going to always be changing, and we're going to constantly be moving back and forth on our dirt bikes. We're never going to be standing just in one location on the bike. We're constantly going to be shifting around our body weight to micro adjust on the dirt bike. So when we're standing on our dirt bikes, we always want to stand on the balls of our feet. We should be gripping the dirt bike with our knees, and whenever we are standing up on our dirt bikes, we want to make sure our elbows are up and our head should be over the handlebars. This is the proper attack position to truly make you a better dirt bike rider. We want to constantly be standing on our dirt bikes more than we're sitting. If you're sitting down a lot on your dirt bike, it's going to fatigue you more, you're going to get tired more often, and you're going to feel every bump along the way. So if we just stand up while we're riding in this correct riding position, you are naturally going to become a much faster rider instantly. This is because now, as you stand up in the correct riding position, you're going to be able to go through obstacles and over bumps much faster than you could if you were sitting down and having every bump affect your body. If you're riding in this correct riding position, you're also going to be able to ride for a much longer period of time. Being able to ride for a much longer time period is going to be huge to actually making you a better rider as well. If you are getting fatigued and you're tired quickly, then you're actually going to be not riding to your full ability level, and this is going to make you slower when you're riding on your dirt bike. So to be a faster dirt bike rider, we really need to focus on standing up and riding in this proper riding position, so that way we can ride for longer periods of time and ride faster as well. The most important part about becoming a faster dirt bike rider all boils down to our cornering. Dirt bike cornering is the one way that we can truly become a better dirt bike rider. If you want to become faster on a dirt bike, you need to be faster at your cornering. So let's go ahead and cover our cornering techniques that we need to know on how to corner in the fastest way possible. It's going to be important that when we're learning how to corner on our dirt bikes that we already know the proper techniques. We know that we need to have our inside foot out in front of us, we need to have our elbows up, and we need to have our head and body weight all the way forward on the dirt bikes. Now that we have our inside foot out in front of us and our outside foot on the foot peg, we want to focus on driving our body weight into the outside foot peg. This is really going to set your tires on the ground and give you a much better traction over your front and your rear tire. Also, by getting your weight more forward while we're going around a corner gives you a lot more control over the handlebars, being able to corner faster and give you more control when you're cornering on your dirt bike. So make sure that when you want to corner faster that you're getting your body weight as far forward on the dirt bike as you can. Plus having your head over the handlebars, your elbows up, and this is just going to assure that you have the best riding position when you're cornering. Other things we need to do when we're cornering to become a faster dirt bike rider is to actually corner while standing up. Being able to stand up on your dirt bike while you're coming into a corner, and then if you need to sit down once you get in the corner and apply your throttle, then being able to stand back up as you're coming out of the corner and accelerating is going to be a huge part of becoming a faster dirt bike rider when you're cornering. So standing up coming into the corner just assures that you don't have all these bumps and breaky bumps hitting your body and affecting you. Also making you want to slow down because of how bumpy the ride is. Then once you got into the corner and you sat down and immediately put the throttle on to get accelerating on your dirt bike is going to set your weight on the tires properly to where you have more traction out of the front tire and the rear tire to get more acceleration driving out of this corner. Dirt bikes also create acceleration bumps as they come out of corners. So this is why we need to get in the corner and stand back up as soon as possible before we even start hitting any bumps coming out of this corner, and we won't feel it on our body. As soon as you can hit a corner like this and not feel the bumps before the corner, get in the corner, start accelerating, stand back up, and get out of the corner without feeling those bumps as well is going to smooth out your riding and truly make you a faster dirt bike rider. It's so important that we learn how to smooth out these tracks and trails to truly become a better rider. So make sure you focus on this as you're learning how to ride a dirt bike faster and learning how to hit the smoothest lines to really smooth out the track so you can go faster on your dirt bike. Standing up is going to be the best way to help you smooth out the track and truly be able to ride much faster on your dirt bike. Ways that we can practice our dirt bike cornering to truly become a better dirt bike rider is going to be in a figure 8 course. A figure 8 course is going to be a right hand corner directly into a left hand corner, and you will loop these corners one after another to create a circuit. And doing this is how you're going to be able to practice your left hand cornering into your right hand cornering and truly get faster at cornering on your dirt bike. This is not an easy part of our dirt bike riding, but once you get to the point in your riding where you want to become a faster dirt bike rider, mastering your dirt bike cornering is going to be so important. Other ways we can become faster at our corners is going to be with our brakes. When we want to brake faster on our dirt bikes, we're going to have to use our body weight and a lot of our front brake. Our front brake is going to be a very aggressive brake, and it's going to be something that we have to work on over time. As we get better and have more control with the front brake, we're going to know not to have the wheel turned at all when we're using the front brake. This is because it'll lock up and it'll put us on the ground, and we want to avoid that so we can gain confidence on our bikes. But as we're coming into these corners, we need to actually shift our body weight back on the dirt bike, because as we're putting on a lot of front brake and using our rear brakes combined with our gears to help slow the dirt bike down in the fastest way possible, it's really going to want to pick up the back end of the dirt bike and almost do a stoppie. The way that we shift our body weight just back a little bit on the dirt bike puts more weight over the rear wheel, helping it stay grounded as we're really aggressively using our front brakes coming into a corner. As soon as you get off of your brakes is when you actually want to sit down and get back on the throttle. As soon as you're in the corner and you're getting off of your brakes, you want to eliminate your coasting time and immediately be sitting down, driving your weight into the rear tire and accelerating around the rest of the corner. This is going to be such an important part of becoming a faster dirt bike rider, because you're going to be able to outbrake your competition, get in the corners faster, and have a lot faster corner speed. Make sure you practice this over and over, as this is truly at the center of becoming a faster dirt bike rider. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, make sure you hit that and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future dirt bike riding tips. The next thing that I want to cover on how to become a faster dirt bike rider is all about being in the correct gear on our dirt bikes. As we're getting faster and truly wanting to go faster, we're going to naturally want to get up in the higher gears on the dirt bike. However, when we're coming into corners, we really want to make sure that we're shifting down into a lower gear to help us with our braking coming into the corner. The way that this also helps us is going to be as we're coming into the corner and using the engine brake to help us slow down, this lower gear is going to have a lot more acceleration. So you can actually have more acceleration when you're ready to turn the throttle on and come out of the corner faster. Once you're coming out of the corner and the RPMs already get higher, just shift up to get back into the higher gear that has more top speed, and this is going to be so important to getting out of these corners as fast as possible. Also, when we're riding on our dirt bikes and we are getting into these higher gears and we're going down a straightaway, we really want to focus on getting our weight over the rear wheel. When we want more traction out of the rear wheel, we need to move our body weight back on the dirt bike and simply just put our weight more on the rear wheel. This may want to lift up the front wheel and to do a wheelie if you have the throttle on, and just be ready for that, as you might have to shift your body weight forward when this happens. Other ways that we can know that we're in the right gear is to listen to the RPM level of the dirt bike. If we're trying to get on the throttle and we hear the bike at too low of an RPM level and it doesn't have any acceleration behind it, we know that we need to shift down to get into a lower gear with more acceleration, and it should immediately, once you shift down, pull the RPM level back to the top of the gear and give you more acceleration from this. If you do this and you don't have and you're pretty close to the RPM range that you need, you can simply tap the clutch coming out of the corner, and as you have the clutch tapped with a little bit of throttle on, this is going to pick up the RPM level and make sure that you're in the right part of the gear to have the best acceleration possible. If you're in too low of a gear, you're going to get on the acceleration and it's going to almost not have any power. It's already going to be at such a high RPM level that you've already passed the arc of the power, and this is what's going to make that gear not have a lot of acceleration. So we'll need to shift up to get into a higher gear with a longer gear range, and this will drop the RPM level back to where we need it to be, and that is really what's going to make us faster on our dirt bikes. We always want to make sure we're right in the meat of the power and have plenty of acceleration when we need it. However, being in a gear above what we normally would think we need to be in could be a good thing as well if you're on a fast trail or a track. Being in the higher gears allows the gears to turn more freely and roll with more speed. So even if you're not constantly on the power, the bike can roll a little bit more freely and go faster. So practice being in the right gear and practice learning what the bike sounds like at the right gear range. Learning when you need to be in a higher gear and learning where you're on the track and trail that you need to be in a lower gear is also going to be a huge thing to help you out, so you naturally get better and more comfortable with this over time. You're not going to be worrying about always being in the right gear because you're simply going to just listen to the RPM level of the dirt bike, and that's what's going to signal to you that you're in the right gear. The next part about becoming a faster dirt bike rider is all about practice. The more you practice your riding and the more you go riding on your dirt bike, you're naturally going to get faster without having to think about everything else going on. All you want to do is spend seat time on your dirt bike to where you're naturally getting better every time you go ride. It's not all about spending time turning the throttle, going faster that kind of way, but thinking about your rider body position and perfecting that is what will naturally make you faster every time you get on your bike. It's a lot better to be riding in the right body position and going slower on your dirt bike than going faster on your dirt bike in the wrong body position. Because naturally, if you're riding in the right body position, you're going to pick up speed at the proper time riding at your ability level. But if you're just going faster without being in the right body position, this is a recipe for disaster and a good way to get hurt. So make sure you're always riding at your riding ability and practicing every time you go ride to ride in the right body position. Rad family, I'm so proud of you for learning how to ride a dirt bike and wanting to learn how to ride a dirt bike faster. If you're still looking for more dirt bike riding tips, I'm always here. I've made a full dirt bike riding course over on my website that's going to walk you through being a complete beginner and take you to an advanced rider mastering the tracks and trails. Also, on my website, I have a full free dirt bike guide. All you have to do is sign up for my newsletter and I'll send it straight to you. If this video helped you, make sure you like this video and drop some comments down below and ask me any other questions that you have. Make sure you click the subscribe button that's right here and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future dirt bike riding tips. After that, you can watch my next video right here. Stay rad, and I'll see you over there.